ಇನ್ನು ಉತ್ತರ ಕೊರಿಯಾ ಸರ್ವಾಧಿಕಾರಿ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅಮೆರಿಕ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷ ಡೊನಾಲ್ಡ್ ಟ್ರಂಪ್ ಸಿಂಗಾಪುರದಲ್ಲಿ ಭೇಟಿಯಾಗಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಆ ನಂತರದಲ್ಲಿ ಡೊನಾಲ್ಡ್ ಟ್ರಂಪ್ ಮಾತನಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ವಿಚಾರ ಪ್ರಸ್ತಾಪ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಕೇಳೋಣ ಬನ್ನಿ.
Well, I don't want to talk. Yeah, I know. That's a tough thing to talk about because I don't want to be threatening. I don't want to be threatening. They understood that. And you've seen what was perhaps going to happen. And you know, Seoul has 28 million people. We think we have big cities. You look at New York where it has 8 million people. We think it's a big city. Seoul has 28 million people. Think of that. And it's right next to the border. It's right next to the DMZ. It's right there. I mean, if this would have happened, I think, you know, I've heard, 100,000 people. I think you could have lost 20 million people, 30 million people. This is really an honor for me to be doing this because I think, you know, potentially you could have lost, 30, 40, 50 million people. The city of Seoul, one of the biggest cities in the world, is right next to the border.
You once spoke about fire and fury. Is that no longer the case?
Well, at that time we needed perhaps fire and fury because we could not have allowed that kind of capability from the standpoint of the United States. And certainly Japan wasn't going to allow it either. Japan is right next door.
One more thing, Mr. President, could you tell us about the video that you showed before this?
Yeah.
When did you show that to Kim? What was the goal
Today.
there?
Yeah. We had it made up by some, I hope you liked it. I thought it was good. I thought it was interesting enough to show. One in English and one in Korean. And we had it made up. I showed it to him today, actually during the meeting, toward the end of the meeting. And I think he loved it. They were given, we didn't have a big screen like you have the luxury of having. We didn't need it because we had it on a cassette and an iPad, and they played it. And about 8 of their representatives were watching it, and I thought they were fascinated by it. I thought it was well done. I showed it to you because that's the future. I mean, that could very well be the future. And the other alternative is just not a very good alternative. It's just not good. But I showed it because I really want him to do something. Now, I don't think I had to show it because I really believe he wants to, I think he wants to get it done. Yes, go ahead. How's Staten Island Ferry doing, okay? He wrote the best story about me with the Staten Island Ferry, and after that he's never written a good story. I don't know what happened. It's a long time ago.
Mr. President, it's been a busy week for you on the international stage. You're leaving this summit here in Singapore having determined that Kim Jong-un is a talented man. You left the G7 summit a few days ago in Canada having determined that Prime Minister Trudeau is weak and dishonest. What do you say to America's allies who worry that you might be jeopardizing our long-term alliances and who worry that you might be treating our historic friends as enemies and our historic enemies as friends?
Well, first of all, I think it's a very fair question. I had a very good meeting with the G7, and I left the meeting, and I'll be honest, we are being taken advantage of by virtually every one of those countries, very, very seriously. Now, the United States, because of bad management at the top, because of presidents that didn't care about trade or didn't understand it or whatever reason, for many years, with China being obviously the most successful at it, but the European Union is second, 151 billion we lost. They were represented at the meeting. And we're being taken advantage of on trade. Canada does have very big advantages over us in terms of trade deficits. We have a big trade deficit with Canada. I was reading where, it's actually a surplus. Not a surplus. It's either 17, but it could actually be 100. You know, they put out a document.
ಅಮೆರಿಕ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷ ಡೊನಾಲ್ಡ್ ಟ್ರಂಪ್ ಬಹಳ ವಿವರವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಇಂಥದ್ದೊಂದು ಮಾತುಕತೆ ಫಲಪ್ರದ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಒಪ್ಪಂದಗಳು ಏನೇನು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮಗಳಿಗೆ ವಿವರಿಸುವಂಥ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಹುಶಃ ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಉತ್ತರ ಕೊರಿಯಾ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ದಕ್ಷಿಣ ಕೊರಿಯಾ, ಜಪಾನ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅಮೆರಿಕದ ನಡುವಿನ ವಾಕ್ ಸಮರ ಏನಿತ್ತು, ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಆ ದ್ವೇಷಮಯ ವಾತಾವರಣ ಏನಿತ್ತು ಬಹುಶಃ ತಿಳಿಯಾಗಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ನಿರೀಕ್ಷೆಯನ್ನು ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದಾಗಿದೆ.